Here's 6 of the 13 points. Hunter S. Thompson for sheriff of Aspen, Colorado, 1970. Well, shit, that was right around 53 years ago. That was just right around 53 years ago. So, Hunter S. Thompson, here's his little gonzo fist tentative platform from this Better Than Sex. Hunter S. Thompson, circa 1994. Copywritten 1994. Number 1. Sod the streets at once. Sod the streets at once. Rip up all city streets with jackhammers and use the junk asphalt after melting to create a huge parking and auto storage lot on the outskirts of town. Preferably somewhere out of sight, like between the new sewage plant and McBride's new shopping center. Change the name of Aspen by public referendum to Fat City. This would prevent the greed heads, land rapers, and other human jackals from capitalizing on the name Aspen. Number 3, drug sales must be controlled. Drug sales must be controlled. My first act as sheriff will be to install on the courthouse lawn a bastinado platform and a set of stocks in order to punish dishonest dope dealers in a proper public fashion. Each year, these scum suckers cheat millions of people out of millions of dollars. As a breed, they rank with subdividers and used car salesmen. The sheriff's department would gladly hear the complaints against the drug dealers at any hour of the day or night with immunity from prosecution guaranteed to the complaining party, provided that the complaint is valid. Number 4, hunting and fishing should be forbidden to all non-residents. Hunting and fishing should be forbidden to all non-residents with the exception of those who can obtain the signed endorsement of a resident. It's a good platform. Who will then be legally responsible for any violation or abuse committed by the non-resident he has signed for. Fines will be heavy and the general policy will be merciless prosecution of all offenders. Number 5, the sheriff and his deputies should never be armed in public. Every urban riot, shootout, and bloodbath involving guns in recent memory has been set off by some trigger-happy cop in a fear frenzy. And no cop in Aspen has had to use a gun for so many years that I feel safe in offering a $2 cash reward to anybody who could recall such an incident in writing. Box K3, Aspen. Under a normal circumstance, a pistol grip mace bomb such as the MKV made by General Ordnance is more than enough to quickly wilt any violence problem that is likely to emerge in Aspen. And anything the MKV can't handle would require reinforcements anyway. And what's an MKV? A pistol grip mace bomb. Let's see. 6, it would be the policy of the sheriff's office to savagely harass those engaged in any form of land rape. This will be done by acting with utmost dispatch on any and all righteous complaints. My first act in office. So revolutionary. Can you just say you're revolutionary? Do you actually have to have something behind it? You could be all that you want to be, right? In America, if you could dream it, you could do it. Be all that you could be. You could be an army of one. Now, Aristotle, he said there's 3 kinds of revolutions. And I've added a 4th revolution, but it came from Howard Zinn. Modeled after the Black Panthers, Howard Zinn. So what's grinding my gears these days? I'll tell you. You got this loudmouth fucking public pretending fucking asshole who's sitting there declaring loud and clear they're not revolutionary. And you know what? That actually makes a lot of fucking sense. The public pretender is the public pretender because the public pretender is part of the system. The public pretender, they have to maintain a fucking relationship with the prosecutor and the judge, so they're not ready to go balls to the wall. They're not ready to defend each and every one of their clients the way that they would want to be defended themselves. I took a look at Alabama and Mississippi. Alabama, you have the Section 2. You have a Bill of Rights, right? All the 50 states in America are republics. So each one of the 50 states has a constitution and a Bill of Rights. Also 3 branches of government, rule of law, federalism, elections. America, you know all this. That's what I love about you, America. So Article 1, Alabama Constitution, it begins with their Bill of Rights. It starts with the preamble. It says the principles of liberty, free government be recognized and established. Then Section 1, Section 2. Equality and rights of men, people, source of power. Then Section 3. Let's go to the source of power. So the second section. All political power is inherent in the people. All free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit, and that therefore they have at all times an inalienable and indefeasible right to change their form of government in such manner as they may deem expedient. Public pretenders are part of the system. Public pretenders are being paid by the 1%. No, we need the public pretenders because that means everything's A-okay. Everybody that got convicted had the option of getting a public pretender. What do you mean? Of course they have all their rights and freedoms. You got 3 kinds of revolutions. You got the violent coup d'etats, the Fidel Castro, Che Guevara, Lenin kind of revolution, the Robespierre, rights of man, French Revolution, American Revolution, Haitian Revolution, Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines kind of revolution, a George Washington, Thomas Paine, John Adams kind of revolution. So that's 1, right? You got violent revolutions. Now you have 2 non-violent revolutions. You got constitutional revolution and you got electoral revolutions. Change the leadership, you change the game. Change the rules, you change the game. Constitutional revolution, electoral revolution. You have elections in a democracy every what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking years. Every time you turn around in Colorado, there's a goddamn election. And thank God that there is. Because all the power of the people in charge is rested upon the people. I don't believe in any sovereignty. Fuck a criminal, fuck a terrorist, and fuck a sovereign. The only possible thing that's sovereign in a democracy, in our democratic republic, is quote-unquote the people. So with elections change the leadership. Now, sometimes the leadership don't do shit. Sometimes the leadership makes sweeping changes. You know, Abraham Lincoln, not only did he free the black man, but also freed the white man by freeing the black man. He introduced the greenback dollar. Do you know that? Abraham Lincoln also spanked Mary Todd, told her get back in the house. Also, like 1 or 2 of their 3 kids are going to die while he's in office. And then he's going to get shot. Motherfucking John Wilkes Booth was like staring through a motherfucking hole. Pop, pop. Change the rules to the game, you change the game. Change the leadership. And if that leadership makes sweeping changes, and the vast majority of those changes are good, positive, progressive, that's revolution. Change the leaders to the game, you change the game. FDR's revolutionary. Lincoln's revolutionary. And I've added a 4th kind of revolution. So you got the constitutional revolution, the electoral revolution, and you got your violent revolutions, and you got your soft revolution. Your soft revolution is where people are on the outskirts of society and they build systems amongst themselves. They build their own breakfast programs. They build their own police and fire and EMS services. They also have their own farming, their own vegetable and fruits and herd farming, their own food and feeding programs, and their own policing. When you construct your own thing outside the system, eventually, since nobody's going to need the system, if you build the system correctly, a good system, a self-sustaining, independent system, then the old system will just simply disappear, wither away, and say adios. Now, Jill Scott Heron, now he said motherfuckers are scared of revolution. He used the N-word, so I'm not the best translation I'm allowed to use. But he was saying motherfuckers are scared of revolution. They're scared of revolution. Even motherfucking Alabama is revolutionary. All political power inherited in the people. All free governments are founded on their authority, instituted for their benefit, and that therefore they have at all times an inalienable and indefeasible right to change their form of government in such manner as they deem expedient. In such manner as they may deem expedient. Now let's look at Mississippi, the two shittiest states in the nation. The two shittiest states in American nation are fucking revolutionary. So when I hear about some piece of shit that's a part of the fucking establishment that's not revolutionary, I got to question him. I've got to question him. Also, how can you be a leftist and just love George Santos? You're a George Santos lover? You're not a revolutionary? I mean, you're critical of the cops, but don't want to change the system, huh? Keep the system as is, but just slightly tinker with it. Just kind of add a little bit of oil, spray some carburetor spray, kick the tires a bit. I mean, why would a leftist love George Santos? Love him. He's deceit, his lies, his bullshit. Man, he's such a lying, deceitful bullshitter. Hey, Howard Zinn, Black Panther, soft revolution. Electoral revolution, constitutional revolution, and violent revolution. There's 4 kinds of revolution out there, you sons of bitches. And the N-word isn't my word. And if that's all black folks want, after all the crap that white folks have done, is just the N-word, that's all you want, I think Caucasians should be grateful of getting off so lightly. You got off with a slap on the wrist. You realize all the shit that black folks, are you sure you don't want like 4 other words? You can have the N-word and I'll give you like 4 other words. And hell, why not reparations, you know? Why not like a major apology too? Because that was a historical insult. That was some fucking bullshit, wasn't it? I just feel like one little word that doesn't really alleviate the awful residue, the effects of white supremacy that's happened throughout the centuries. You know Marianne Williamson is running for president? You know how goddamn revolutionary Marianne Williamson is? Here I thought I was compromising. Well, you know, just accept Marianne. If we're not going to get Bernie, then just take Marianne, will you? She's revolutionary as fuck. She's actually a continuity. She's continuous with American revolutionaries. Read her book. She quotes Martin Luther King. She quotes George Washington. She quotes all these American revolutionary heroes. She ain't scared of revolution. She ain't one of them motherfuckers that are scared of revolution. I just feel like black folks, you know, I'll give you the N-word. I don't have to say the N-word. There's lots of other words in the world. There's other languages too. You just want one English word, that's it. I will give you one English word. But are you sure you don't want anything else? Now, I'm pro-reparations, and I'll talk about that in a second. But here we have Mississippi. Section 6, Article 3, Section 6 of Mississippi's Constitution. So Mississippi and Alabama have more of a constitutional backing, a social contract with their people, than the UK. The people of this state have the inherent sole and exclusive right to regulate the internal government and police thereof, and to alter and abolish their constitution and form of government whenever they deem it necessary to their safety and happiness, provided such change be not repugnant to the Constitution of the United States. That's just like Colorado's, except for the internal government and the police. But change the form of the government, abolish the Constitution, and it's all in the name of safety and happiness. No, there's no public safety. There's no public security. Peace, love, happiness. You know, the preamble of the Constitution has a lot of virtue, justice, love. The main reason of the U.S. Constitution is to form a more perfect union. How many Americans know the number one purpose for the U.S. Constitution? Reparations is a nice apology. Hey, remember how, all that terrible shit white folks did back in the day? Sorry, we done all those stimulus checks. How many stimulus checks, Give black folks a fucking check. Here, black folks, here's $1,000 a piece. Thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for not overturning the apple cart. Thank you for being like Martin Luther King and, letting bygones be bygones and living side by side next to us without... White America never apologized for slavery or Jim Crow, the lynchings, and none of it. White America never apologized for any of it. Reparations is a nice start. You got to repair the relationship. I'm sorry. That's a beginning. That's a start. Now, hearsay is excluded. CRE 801 and 802. The Colorado Rules of Evidence 801 802. CRE 802 is called the hearsay rule. And so is CRE 805. Well, it says it's a hearsay within hearsay. But the rule is hearsay is not admissible. You cannot admit hearsay into the record. It cannot add to the truth. That's hearsay. No, objection, Your Honor, hearsay. Objection, Your Honor, hearsay within hearsay. So CRE 802 is the hearsay rule. CRE 805 is the hearsay within hearsay rule. Now, just to get back to this revolution talk. George Santos isn't progressive. George Santos isn't going to change shit. If the Bill of Rights of Alabama and Mississippi can say, hey, we can abolish the Constitution, abolish the form of government, and they're talking about regulating the internal government and the police thereof. So essentially getting rid of the government. This is a right to revolution, and there's a right to revolution in like every single fucking constitution in America. So that means it's legal. A public pretender wouldn't know that. A public pretender wouldn't know that it's legal. And why wouldn't it be? Revolution is just self-defense for a nation. You have a right in nature to defend yourself. That's natural rights. And if you have a right in nature to defend yourself, then your tribe, your household, your community, your society has a right to defend itself too, i.e. revolution. Revolution is self-defense for a nation. Revolution is self-defense for a society, a community, a people. So the right to revolution is the same as a right to self-defense. Of course you got a right to defend yourself. Who would fucking tell people that they got to take all the goddamn abuse from their oligarchs and plutocrats and they're fucking rich and powerful? Nope, you got to take all the abuse of the damn government. Well, you got to take the abuse of the wealth. They're rich. I mean, they have money. So you got to take all their abuse. No, you don't. No, you don't. And then the standard for the American Revolution was tolerable once it becomes intolerable. You can only tolerate so much, but when you just say, man, this shit's in-fucking-tolerable. Enough is enough. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Enough is enough. Nah, something's got to give. Your blood is boiling. So both Alabama and Mississippi knows that we got a right to revolution. CRE 801, the Colorado Rule of Evidence, hearsay within hearsay. Hearsay included within hearsay is not excluded under hearsay rule if each part of the combined statements conforms with an exception to the hearsay rule provided in these rules. Let me tell you that again. CRE 805 is hearsay within hearsay. CRE 805. Hearsay included within hearsay is not excluded under the hearsay rule if each part of the combined statements conforms with an exception to the hearsay rule provided in these rules. Are you at least a progressive? I mean, if you're not a revolutionary, maybe it's just, motherfuckers are scared of revolution. But if you're a leftist and you're not even progressive, my definition for progressive is actually so fucking, when you drive your car, do you look at it of your windshield, or do you look down and look at the side view and up at do you want to go forward? Do you want to progress and move forward? That's progressive. You want to stay in the rearview mirror, you want to stay in the side view mirrors, you want to stay looking at your sweater and, looking at the upholstery. CRE 805, hearsay within hearsay. Hearsay included within hearsay is not excluded under the hearsay rule if each part of the combined statements conforms with an exception to the hearsay rule provided in these rules. Provided in these rules. Now I have a whole bunch of hearsay exceptions, which I guess hearsay is he said, she said, right. If you testify to another person's statement, well, Your Honor, Jojo Bean said that blow blow jeans is actually no fiends. It's not admissible. If you testify to another person's statement, it's not admissible except under a couple of exceptions. 1, 2, 3, except for 24 exceptions. So, in general, hearsay is not admissible. And hearsay within hearsay, that's like an enigma wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a riddle. Your Honor, that's hearsay, wrapped in hearsay, wrapped in hearsay. Your Honor, I heard Jojo Beans tell Blow Blow Jeans, who said to who the fuck ever. That's hearsay to the third degree. Hearsay exceptions, 24 exceptions. We'll come back to that, but I'll let you know. Number 7, absence of entry in records kept in accordance with the provisions of paragraph 6. One last time. Absence of entry in records kept in accordance with the provisions of paragraph 6.